I feel as though someone else got this card, but I cannot remember which sign. Well, it's a beautiful card. I mean, look at all that love that's just flowing between the fierce lion, the docile lamb, the little baby lion, that beautiful angel. Everyone getting along, this idea of camaraderie. Everyone bringing a sense of their own essence to the table, the sense of purpose that each and every individual has. Here it's represented in terms of the animals and the angel. But even in your work environment, whenever we look at the people with whom we work, we see that there's such a varying experiences in terms of not only what they're able to bring to the table, but who they are as people. And just when you consider the sheer humanity of what each individual undergoes in their lifetime, it's amazing, and it's beautiful, and you can look at it from that place of positivity, faith, and optimism that everyone has their part, including you, Pisces. Sometimes it can feel difficult when other people are different than us because they trigger us, and we begin to compare ourselves, usually unfavorably, to them, or we inflate ourselves as being our characteristics or attributes are more favorable than theirs. So something to think about, but it's a beautiful card, positivity, faith, and optimism to consider as you go towards the end of the year here, around your sense of purpose in the world and the work you do in the world for your career. It's not a time to give in to negativity, gossip, backbiting, office politics. This is a time to have a greater sense of faith in humanity and faith in yourself, first and foremost. We have the Eight of Wands, and what you can expect regardless is the King of Wands in the reverse. We have the Magician under the deck here. Everyone has their skill set, as I mentioned. Remembering that, not everyone can be an expert in all things, but you can usually be an expert in your one area. Some people, of course, are skilled in many areas, but for you in this time period, as it's coming in, it's about each person having their own skill set here, as opposed to everyone doing a lot of things badly or half baked. Focus on everyone doing their part really, really well. All right, so in terms of what you're meant to not do or stop doing, we have the Tower in reverse. So it looks like there has been a shakeup, probably at work, which is why you're being asked to have faith, I guess, here. I guess that's why it's coming in. But I don't think it's happening necessarily to you. It may be that the company you're working for has been bought out, or they're doing layout, or they're creating layoffs. I don't necessarily feel like it's happening to you. It's more like it's happening within the work environment that you're currently in. And if you're not at work and you're possibly at home, deepening your connection to your sense of purpose in the world, but not actually being paid for it in the moment, there may be something happening within home as well. Maybe there's something going on with your family, this kind of thing. But for you, you're not meant to get too caught up in this. Like a lot of times when there's like a big shakeup, fear and anxiety can set in, and you begin to, create this sense of victimization, like, oh, nothing ever works out for me. I'm probably next, if there's layoffs, or nothing, I'm not going to be able to support myself. Whatever that is, do your best to remember that you have a lot of skills to offer. Everyone has something, including yourself, and whatever this is, it could even be that you get a new boss, your old boss gets fired, and someone new comes in. Because I don't feel like it's happening directly to you. It's more like around you. And you feel like, oh, I'm going to have to prove myself all over again. But you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You have to recognize and honor your own skills and values. And skill set keeps coming in. So for other people to recognize it. So don't be afraid to be your own advocate during this time period. Now, what you can look forward to or expect regardless is a tremendous amount of busyness, communication coming in. So I do see that this is going to be a very busy time for you. Again, something may be shaking up here in your work environment. Maybe it creates a greater workload for you. You certainly have everything it takes to do it well. Remember, you're supported as well. You're not doing it all by yourself. These messages are coming in from multiple areas. And it could also be travel as well. I will say. But also just it feels like a lot of communication, a lot of busyness. Now what you can expect regardless is the King of Wands in reverse. So the King of Wands in reverse can be problematic because he can be very charismatic, and I say he, and it could be a fire sign, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, Pisces. But this individual in the reverse can appear to be very charismatic. It's like those leaders that that you see, like those religious leaders on TV or cult leaders. They inspire and they create a lot of loyalty and a great following, but they don't really have what it takes, and they're kind of flaky, and they're kind of it's all surface. It's charisma on the surface, but there's not a lot of depth. So there may be this kind of someone in your environment who is exhibiting these characteristics during this time. Doesn't mean they're always like that, but during this time, it may be they're kind of trying to fake it till they make it. But remember, don't let that reflect on you. You have what it takes here. And for you, I think it's going to be you're fine-tuning your radar with that. I wonder if these two are related. Like if this person's getting found out. And, maybe you, if you've been kind of slacking off and pretending that you have a greater skill set than you do, that could also come up play here. But because I feel like it's more you who has a greater sense of what you have to offer, I don't feel like it's you, but it could be, I suppose. If this person is someone that you work with, could be a boss, and they're asking you to do things, if there is a way to create a paper trail, letting so that it can't come back to you in a negative way, like if it goes badly in the end, that you can say, look, this is what I was told to do. Get as much in writing how it's coming in for me as possible if this person is directing you in some way. Have faith, be positive, be optimistic. But be practical as well. Like make sure that you because a lot of times when things are getting shaken up in our work environment, it gets really busy, a lot of communication. And then you have this kind of energy, it's kind of flaky, superficial, high charisma, but not much substance. And even the magician, it's like skilled, but kind of trickster energy. So whenever we have all of this combined, make sure that you are covering yourself. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Have faith, but not blind faith here. This person can be mesmerizing. Again, we also have the magician, the kind of trickster energy. But the magician in the upright actually does have what it takes, has a lot to offer here. And this guy, he's like a good figurehead in the short term, but in the long term, he falls short. Talking about a relatively short period of time, and the overarching theme for you is, have faith, be optimistic. Remember that there's more to a company or an organization than just one individual. Yes, we have a beautiful angel, but she also has all these beautiful animals, everyone working in conjunction with one another. So, he may be a bright light, and this may be very distracting, and especially with all this communication or even travel or just a lot of busyness. But it always takes a whole, it takes a village, so to speak, to use that phrase. All right, let's get one more card for you, Pisces. I will say it could be the King of Wands, could be you. You may just be experiencing quite a bit of burnout by the end of the year, because this energy can be exhausting because you're watching it kind of happen around you, and you're really channeling your divine feminine, regardless of gender, in terms of having faith, optimism, being open to the enormity of life, the expansiveness of your soul, of the all that is, taking time for that. Sometimes that takes quite a degree of presence in order to experience that. So you may just kind of be burned out here. So make sure that you're relying on your team and you're being open and honest here, and you don't try to fake it here. So it does look like that within your financial world, it doesn't feel like it's really touching on that, because this is a card of everyone kind of being on the same page, right? We have this sense of cohesion and collaboration here. Again, all of these elements working nicely together. Same with your money. So your money looks good here. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a spiritual resource for you. So, of course, always listen to your certified financial advisors. But in terms of your money during this particular time frame, it does look like things are working nicely there. People are taking care of your money. There's not a lot of